Yeah, look like we're live. So, okay, 1 second. So, good evening, good morning, good evening, whenever you are in this crazy world out there. Here's Martin from Radio Bloodstream, and I have two gentlemen on a Skype call directly from. Guys, where are you calling from today?
Hey, California.
So, Jason's in Florida?
No, Jason's in San Diego too.
San Diego in Florida. Oh, that's awesome. I love the technology. It's unbelievable. All right, so let me turn on the radio as well. 1 second, and we will have Killing Tyranny. We'll have Killing Tyranny band interviewed right now, right here, over the Skype call, and I'll just turn on the stream on Radio Bloodstream as well, so everybody can hear you in this. All right, so. All right, here I am again. It's Martin from Radio Bloodstream, and we have on a Skype call Killing Tyranny, Jason and George with me today, live, streaming live. Who wants to watch us? You can watch on Facebook page Radio Bloodstream. So, guys, first of all, are you safe? Are you okay? So what's the situation with these corona fucking shit?
well, okay here in San Diego. I know Jason. Basically, it's crazy. I think it's crazy everywhere.
We have George. I have to stop you. We have an echo. We hear you twice for some reason. I'm not sure why. Can you put like a headphones or something? Or maybe try the phone back again. Not sure.
Maybe that works a little bit. To get the echo.
Yeah, try now. Yeah, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, the echo.
So you're calling from San Diego?
Yep, calling from San Diego. Fortunate enough to
be safe here. Even though this is pretty crazy, you know, a lot of people are dealing with people who are sick, trying to care for people, working with this pandemic. And a lot of people unemployed. Kind of a freaky time.
Do you still have your phone on by chance, George? Because we hear you twice for some reason.
Not the Skype. No. I've got
I'm not sure. Can you hear Jason, George? Okay, or because
Jason, speak.
I'm here.
I can hear.
Doing?
Yeah. So. Are you guys? Yeah, it's a little better, George. George, now. Yeah, it's better. So you're saying basically it's everything's crazy out there. Are your family safe? Or hopefully nobody's sick from your family or one of you guys from Killing Tyranny.
No, none of us have been sick. We've been lucky enough to, I guess, dodge the thing. But I don't know if Jason knows anybody that was ill with it. I actually know somebody that was in New York. That was sick with it, got through it though, and bounced back. So, it's kind of a weird time right now, and I think a lot of us are seeing things that we probably never thought we'd see in our lifetime. 30 million people have applied for unemployment here in the United States alone. So, there's just a lot of things going on that. I think nobody could have foreseen. 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago, it was just a totally different world.
It's definitely crazy, and absolutely, America is the most affected country in the world. Well, UK is straight behind us, behind you guys, and I think it's Italy or Spain right after that. So it's pretty crazy out there. So the situation basically, one of is in Florida, one is in San Diego, but what's the situation? Did you have any plans with the tour, Jason? What can you tell us? Maybe a little bit about the tour. Was planning for the new album.
Well, I suppose we'll have to see what goes on and when they get these things rolling again, and then we can kind of plan ahead at that, or plan at that point what our next steps will be. We'd like to get the first show here in San Diego and things open up, and then take it from there.
But you can't tour at the moment, is it? It's impossible at the moment. Not even small crowd or anything.
No, there's nothing that's opened for shows yet.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I know Disneyland or Disney. I think in Disney in China, Shanghai Disney, I believe, is opening up. I think this weekend or next. So that should be very interesting to see what transpires after they open up and what happens there. Of course, we're behind China a little bit in this whole thing, so I'm hoping summer start to get things going again, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think the reality is that we basically are in studio and kind of trying to get this new album out. We just dropped the new single, Dog and Pony Show, and seems to be doing pretty good. People seem to respond to it well, but yeah, we were hoping to be a lot further along. Actually, our initial plan was to have this CD called The Awakening out by the end of May here, and that's not going to happen. The reality is that we're probably looking at the end of summer, beginning of spring, or excuse me, beginning of fall, of having it out. But we want to start touring as soon as possible, getting out there as much as we can. We have shows that were already, booked for this, and we were going to be debuting new material, even though the CD wasn't fully released yet. And those shows got canceled. We're going to be opening for Three Tremors, Ripper Owens, and Sean Peck. Those guys, they're really good. We're going to be possibly opening for some Flotsam and Jetsam and a few others that were coming to town. Still kind of up in the air, not sure if they're going to come, not sure if we're on the bill, not really sure what's going on right now. We were going to be headlining here on the Thursday, I think it's the 22nd or the 23rd, I'm not exactly sure about the date right now, but it's Thursday. We're going to be headlining at the Brick by Brick in San Diego, and that's probably not going to happen either. And so we're just kind of, taking it day by day. One thing we are doing is, we're trying to get our tracks done and do the different stuff that we can do right now in studio. We still can actually go to a studio. It's considered essential, so it's open. So we could actually do some things, but the reality is we are under stay-at-home orders, and unless we're doing something that's considered essential, we're not really allowed to be out. And venues are closed, bars are closed. I mean, if I didn't have my woman doing my hair, I'd look pretty shaggy, and basically, yeah. I mean, it's crazy that nobody can do anything, and I get it, and I understand the wanting to save lives. I know there's a lot of questions out there, a lot of misinformation, a lot of we have no idea what the hell's going on from one day to the next, and that's from the experts. So I think the reality is that we're all just taking it one day at a time and trying to figure out what's going on. And for a message to the politicians, man, this is the kind of shit that fuels conspiracy theories. People think about it.
Well, it's absolutely crazy. If I can talk about myself, couple of seconds. We've been locked down from 23rd of March. Basically, nothing changed since. I'm lucky I don't have to go out for work. My wife, she has to, though. She does. She works for Tesco. It's like a grocery chain. So she have to work every day to fill for our tables, and I'm sitting home because I work for automotive company, so they just keep us home, 80% of wages, so which is kind of cool. I can do this at least, keep ourselves busy. So thanks to technology, guys, at least you can do a little bit, see each other, talk each other, send emails, send some stuff, do some little bit rehearsing. So the Dog and Pony show, it's spinning on the Radio Bloodstream, obviously, since this been released. That's why we do the follow-up interview on this. And unfortunately, you can't do the tour at the moment to back this up. And did you plan any videos as well? I saw some footage on Facebook. So you try something to at home, or what was the idea?
Right now we're putting the video together. We've done the shooting. The shooting's done and everything. We were actually hoping, again, it's another thing where we thought we'd be a little further ahead and maybe they drop simultaneously or a week later. The song's been out now since the end of April, and we're almost 7 days in here in May. And we'll probably have a video maybe, if we're lucky, by the end of next week. So we're running about 2 weeks behind on that. So, but other than that, I mean, yeah, we're gonna have a kick-ass video. It's gonna be really cool. It's got some elements to it that are pretty cool. And, a lot of our material talks about social things that are going on and standing up for your rights and basically just trying to make sure that the powers that be aren't stepping all over us. And it's kind of crazy with everything going on and how relevant we've become. And we're excited to be able to put out music and do our thing and hopefully be able to join society again instead of being in a lockdown. I know everybody feels like they're basically under home arrest, and it's kind of a funny thing right now because I think it's indicative to how every person's mental makeup is that you run the gamut of all aspects of the lockdown. Being okay at first, hey, it's great, I have some time and I'm gonna do these extra things, and then pretty soon it becomes a thing where you're with the one or two people that you're always with, and you can get on each other's nerves, and certainly that's just human nature. I mean, you can't deny human nature. And then the other thing is what's funny for me and my significant other Mary, we've actually drawn closer together in this process. We've had our ups and downs, and as far as just like anybody else, getting on each other's nerves, but it's actually drawn us closer together because we realize that we can rely on each other, and we're the only ones that basically we can rely on right now. So I think all those things are actually little Dog and Pony show for you this morning. So sorry about that, but yeah, I think that what's happened here, is like really playing on people's heads a lot. You've got situations where people are talking about the darker point where people are having issues in their marital status and different things, and children or whatever, and then you've got the other X spectrum where people are drawn closer together. So I think that it can be good and bad, and I think it's just important for everybody out there to remember that that they need to rely on each other, because basically it's going to be you and the people around you that are going to help you rise above this. And at the end of the day, if we ever do get to rejoin society again, which we will, one way or another.
Well, for guys who just join us on RadioBloodstream.com or on a Facebook Radio Bloodstream, streaming live from America with Jason and George from the band Killing Tyranny, and we're discussing the things what's going on. Obviously, the most hot subject, the COVID-19, how difficult it is at the moment, and at the same time, George was saying he's getting a little bit closer with his wife. So So you in Florida, Jason, is the situation very similar like in San Diego? Probably everywhere is the same, is it?
We're actually both in San Diego.
San Diego. Oh,
I think
I see. Okay.
It sounded when the echo things were a little screwy and wonky earlier, but we're both actually in San Diego.
Oh, so
we're a San Diego based band.
Okay, so yeah, I know that. Okay. Sorry about that.
Oh, good.
So the situation is, so that means the only way how you can actually interact together at the moment is you can just call each other with the Skype call or emails and stuff. We are lucky. We are living in a society in a time where we can actually do that. The technology actually we can do this call actually now. Thanks to this technology, and to make sure we can spread the word what's going on a little bit. If you can guys go outside and play the gig for them.
Yeah, that's we're trying to hold it together, and I was thinking about this earlier today. I wonder how many bands are going to survive this, and what the San Diego metal scene, and frankly the metal scene throughout the world is going to look like after the dust settles, and who's going to try to stick it out and do what they can to get keep it rolling. And I think it's important for that to happen.
It's very tough for the clubs as well. Clubs, venues, the whole music industry will get hit massively, and those big festivals will be postponed for next year. Some will they pull out one more extra day, some will they pull out more bands, but still, the whole year will be missing, and it's going to cost a huge damage to everyone, including the bands.
Yeah. We're going to take advantage of this time and get this record done. It's the perfect opportunity to bring something positive out of this, do something creative.
Yep.
Use the energy that is rolling through the world and try to capture it and put it on a record. I don't know how easy that's going to be, but we just do what we do, and I'm super proud of Dog and Pony Show. I wrote those riffs in high school, and I never thought they would see the light of day. So I'm super excited. George did a fantastic job with the lyrics and the vocals, and Scott, our other guitar player, did a phenomenal job with the guitar solo on that. So super happy.
Oh, now you make me very excited, though. Well, the Dog and Pony Show, what's behind that, George? You probably did the lyrics. What was the message? What's the message?
Well, it's kind of this thing where I have this, we've all got our own personal beliefs of what we believe our governments and people are doing, and
we're getting the echo again, George, a little bit. I don't know why. But...
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't have anything that should be echoing. But I'm not really sure why. But looking at how everybody perceives the governments or perceives what they're being told, you either buy into the narrative, or you buy into a little bit of the narrative, or you don't buy into it at all. I myself, when I look at everything, I think that I don't really believe in the two-party system. I don't believe that there's two parties or been two parties since the assassination of JFK. I believe, it's my personal opinion, not necessarily the members of the band, everybody feels the way I do, but it's my personal opinion that Dallas 1 p.m., both parties joined, and now it's a Dog and Pony Show. They sprayed the most two polarizing individuals in front of you, and then they get you fighting very much like we are right now. And if we're fighting with each other, really busy, caught up, arguing with each other about what we believe or don't believe, we're not really paying attention to them, are we?
No.
And that's kind of the basis of the song.
Yeah, it's been controversial since you have the new president, Trump, because he's very especially at the beginning. Now it seems like a little bit calmed down, but at the beginning he was really aggressive and doesn't looks like he didn't listen to his team much. What he's supposed to say, what he's supposed to do. I think he started listening the last couple of years, but not much.
I think that makes him appealing to some people. I think the reality is that the reason he probably did get voted in is a lot of people feel that he's just another common guy as far as more closer in commonality than the general polished politician. But and I agree with that. I mean, I probably had real problems with how he used to tweet certain things or say certain things. And I just wish that he would have been a little more polished in how he approached things, because maybe he wouldn't have polarized everybody. But then if you're looking at it from the perspective of it's the dog and pony show, then that's the purpose. The purpose is to polarize the two groups as far apart as we can, so you spend your time arguing amongst each other, because we're only concerned if we're one.
Yep, that's it. So basically the new album will have the same name, or it's
called The Awakening.
Oh, The Awakening. Sorry, yeah.
The Awakening, yeah. And it kind of goes along a theme of I think we're kind of where we're at, where I think there's a lot of people just kind of waking up that whether you believe there's two parties or you don't, whether you believe that your government's helping or you don't, I think a lot of people are waking up to the fact that if we don't stand together and help each other, okay, then we're not going to get through this. And I don't mean just COVID, I mean life and everything in general. And I think the reality is that we as people need to understand race, religion, culture, all these things that they use to divide us, all these tags, African American, Asian American, I mean, different things they use here, and I don't know exactly what they do over there, but, they basically divide. I mean, religion divides us, everything, and these are all the things that basically, and I get the whole, thing of thousands of years of fighting and different stuff as far as religion goes. But the reality is that unless we all come together and help each other on this planet, and I don't give a damn what race you are, I don't care what color your skin is, I don't care what your culture is, and I don't give a damn who your God is. At the end of the day, we need to come together as people and help each other on this planet and just be better human beings. And that's kind of the awakening. I feel that we're going to be moving to an area of where people realize that they're going to have to, start working together instead of fighting and trying to help each other. I mean, there's so many people suffering on this planet, and there's so many things. I mean, you just look at the public information they give you on certain things that they spend money on as far as our government, and I don't know what they tell you over there, but I mean, there's things that they're just spending money on. It's utterly ridiculous. And the reality is that there's children starving in the street. There's old people that can't finish their lives out with dignity. It's just unacceptable.
Yeah, it's definitely
massive homeless problem.
Yeah, sorry, Jason. Go ahead.
No, a massive homeless problem as well, and especially with when I see like veterans and I hear about veterans homeless, that just boggles my mind. I don't understand how you can serve your country, and there's so much wealth in this country, and you have, there's a lot of dynamics that go into it, mental health and things like that. But it just seems like not enough is done.
So, guys, this is always not sure why actually we have homeless. There's a two kind of one which actually like to stay like this in his life. First of all, I don't understand why end up like this. It was a drinking problem, drugs problem, at home problem. Nobody can help him out or don't want to help him out. But there's another one. They don't want to be on the street, but they don't have another option. And I see a few videos, which is more more disturbing is, guys, they're fighting for the country, they're coming back and then end up as a homeless. The guys from the military, the veterans. It's just I don't understand that how this is even possible.
A certain aspect is mental, and I think that Jason hit on it a little bit. And I don't mean they're crazy, but what I'm trying to say is that basically you enter an environment where you leave society in the sense where you're working and you're doing whatever, and then now you're out killing people.
Yep.
And the things you see and the horror it has to affect you mentally. So then to reintegrate back into society, we do a real poor job of helping those people reintegrate back into society. And I knew people when I was growing up that were Vietnam vets, and of course they were older than I was, without a doubt. But as I was growing up, and I would talk to these people, and I'd see them slip into a noise or something would happen, and they would just slip into that time, and it was pretty freaky to see the mind deal with that kind of thing as bad.
Yeah.
Deal with that kind of thing as bad as I'm laughing at Jason because he's cleaning the screen.
Well, nice and clear. Nice and clear.
Battery dead. I was dying, so I'm trying to save some power.
So, but yeah, I think that we do a poor job of integrating those people back into society when we're talking about the veterans being homeless. And then as far as like other homeless, yeah, sure, there's drug problems. There could be, all these other scenarios. But, there's also the unforeseen events. The reality is that most people, and I'm fortunate enough not to be one of them, but most people live paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
And if you drastically lose your paycheck for any length of time, like, let's say COVID-19, you're going to wind up being in scenarios that could render you homeless, and you have a whole family living in a car, or you have your children with you on the streets. These are the kind of things that when you're living paycheck to paycheck can happen abruptly, and any politician that's sitting right now in the sound of my voice and doesn't know that needs to be removed.
I agree. Absolutely agree. I think, not sure what's the situation in the U.S., but let's say in UK, they really put I don't know how many millions or trillions of pounds to support the businesses. That's why I'm sitting home, because my company will probably never survive that. We are a small company. We're a worldwide company, but still not big enough to survive something like that, because all the automotive business, it's basically clogged down now. It's not, nobody needs car at this moment. The most important is the guys on the front line, the NHS, the healthcare, and who supply the food on the tables and stuff like that. So that's most important. Cars not important at this point. So police officers, firefighters, everybody who needs to be involved in this safety and healthy environment for this kind of reason. But I'm not sure what's the situation in the U.S. If you own a small business, let's say you have 30 people, to feed every month. Is there any a backup package from the government? Do you guys know that, or?
A little bit. I'm aware, and I'll let Jason answer what he knows. But I'm aware that they've made availability to have loans as a business if you meet certain criteria, and they will become grants even to where you don't have to pay the loan back if you continue to meet that criteria. One of the things is keeping the same employees or the same number of employees that you have. Another thing is to ensure that that whatever collateral or whatever you're putting up doesn't fall under any federal loans or different things. There's certain exclusions that apply depending on what you're talking about. Right. My end is a little more real estate and brokerage kind of thing, so I'm pretty familiar with basically how that operates. And it's kind of a weird world right now with a lot of things going on because people are talking about rent strikes and different things, and again, real estate is kind of like what I'm into, and I'm looking at, I'm not an evil landlord, but um, at the end of the day, these investors and real estate investors, they owe banks, and not every property is owned outright 100%, and not every business is eligible to apply for these things. So when you get politicians who don't understand these certain aspects and they start talking about passing bills that people do not have to pay their rent, and I understand we don't want to make them homeless. What we should be doing is give the people the money, give people a homeless, or I mean, the incentives and the stimulus and things that you're doing to bolster the economy, but turn around and come back around the other end and make the banks either make the banks or give the banks the ability to get up off the investor too, so that you don't have both ends. You can't have the bottom fall out and no middle, vice versa. You can't support the bottom and of how the economy works. You can't support the bottom of the economy and have the middle fall out too. And that's the business people, the people who are giving the jobs to the people. So
Right.
there has to be some kind of give and take there, and that doesn't mean you just start printing money either. So
Well,
I mean, it's not an easy fix. I mean, I wish I had all the answers and could say to you, hey, this is the answer, and boom, I fix everything with my magic wand. I don't think anybody has all the answers, and I think that any decisions that are going to be made in this process, somebody is not going to. I don't see how you make a decision without affecting people, and I don't think there's a scenario in this whole thing where anybody comes out unscathed one way or another. Whether it's your freedom, whether it's your job, whether it's your employer, whether it's your grandmother, your son, I don't think anybody comes out of this thing unscathed one way or another, and that is frightening and unfortunate.
Meanwhile, George, if you just realized Jason just moved and it was showing off his, Marshalls over there with the guitar. So, and I see you in the background. You have your whole studio at home. I see, George. It looks like you have a couple of guitars behind you. What's that over there? Just it's like your studio over there. It's like a drum.
Yeah,
No, what is it?
Yeah, a little bit. This is kind of like my office, and I do recording and small things. I do writing. I am the singer and do the vocals and do a lot of the writing. But I actually can play guitar. I'm just not really good at it in the sense that I'm as good as somebody who's a guitar player like Jason or Scott. And the reality is, I understand chords and progression and different things, so I can put together an idea. What usually sparks the idea for the guitar players, and they're off and running. And a lot of times it's the same thing where they come in with an idea, and me as a writer, I'm off and running.
So for those who join us right now, I have a Killing Tyranny from America band from San Diego, and there's a Jason and George on a Skype call. You can watch us on Facebook as well if you like to, and listen us on radiobloodstream.com. So you guys saying, so you just released the new song, Dog and Pony Show, and this will be an album called Awaken.
The Awakening.
And so you basically you're just being stopped because of the coronavirus thing, and you're trying to put everything together. Now you have the time, a little bit more, be more with the family, and do maybe a little bit more focus on the songs. You guys do normal work on a daily basis? You got your businesses, or what's your Jason? Can you tell us a little bit, please?
I'm an environmental consultant, so I work for a company, and we go out and test building materials for asbestos, lead, mold, that kind of thing. Before renovations or water damage, we'll do the inspections and testing of the material. We've been pretty busy off and on. It's like kind of like a little roller coaster. It'll be busy for 3 days, and then 2 days nothing. So we're hanging on and doing okay. Luckily, we have a lot of good clients that are, still wanting to use us. We're a small company.
Mm-hmm.
There's 3 of us in the company, so
Okay.
It's a very small company. So if we didn't have clients, it would have went south. It would have been bad. But
Right.
luckily, we've been able to stay somewhat stable through this.
So you're still going out at this point? Can you go out, or it's required this
Yeah,
job?
yeah. If you're considered an essential worker, like essential meaning a service that provides life needs.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, yeah, the mold and stuff. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people have emergency service where they have floods. People are still doing renovations. So the work hasn't completely stopped, and in the construction aspect of things,
Yes.
except for some commercial. But people are still getting their houses renovated because they planned on getting them renovated,
Mm-hmm.
and they need to be back in their houses. So
Right.
that's why I think they're allowed to be able to do that. So thank God for that.
Yeah, at least.
We've been relatively busy.
And this is what I'm saying. Every interview I'm doing lately is, I'm always saying, the fans of the band, the best way to support the band is go online and buy the merch from them and support them. At least a little bit like this. If they can go out and make the gig, go on a tour. So just make sure go online. Found Killing Tyranny on a Facebook or online and buy some merch from them, because this is something you really can make a difference for the bands. There's a lot of bands out there which that's the only income at this moment. So
Yeah, it's the reality is that there's a lot of people and bands that may not survive this, and I think that I a lot of music industry too, and a lot of venues, and I'm concerned about that. I mean, I've made, we've made good friends in this industry, from here, to the UK, Martin. So
yeah,
the reality is that we don't know what tomorrow's going to look like, but
yes.
We certainly hope that everybody can make it through this and be stronger for it. So I think that it's hard to guess where the industry is going and which bands will make it and which bands won't. We certainly appreciate our fans and anybody who does support the band, and any kind of support we do receive, we certainly put back into the music, and we certainly put back into touring and trying to get out. And we love to see each and every one of you. So the more we can eventually, once we get out, the more we can get out and get to areas, that we certainly want to do that. So we're excited about the opportunities and things that have came our way in the past. We're praying that they don't dry up right now, because we don't know what's going on. I think that once everything gets back into motion, even though there are people that are affected and hurt and things will change, but as long as there's a need for it, it's going to be there. So
Yep.
I don't see how music goes away. I don't see how creativity goes away, and I don't see, even if we change how we gather and how we present ourselves, it doesn't mean that goes away. So I think that there's as much as there's a door slamming in each and every one of our faces right now, there will be a door that opens.
Well, the another thing is just pops in my mind is the fact there's a lot of bands. Obviously, I don't know if that's even possible in your case, guys. They do the live streaming. Did you see that, guys? Did you think about it? Maybe do something like that?
Yeah, actually, we were recently just talking about it. We've got a couple things in the works. We were talking about doing maybe a little acoustic thing here soon, and then we were talking about maybe doing a stream either from the studio while we're recording anyway and doing some different stuff. So maybe we'll get the band together and shoot out a stream, or we have our area that we practice in, and we do our lights and everything, and try to recreate the shows as much, because we want to put on it
right.
enact it.
Is the
So, maybe we just do that.
Yeah. So what's the rules now? You have to keep the social distancing and stay home, and You can't.
Yeah, they're basically just starting to get up off us a little bit. And basically, the governor was on today and spoke for about, I don't know, about an hour and said about 5 minutes worth of stuff. But
As usual, yeah.
but in that 5 minutes, okay, he basically said that Tuesday we're working our way into what they refer to as phase two. Phase two is going to basically see some of the retails and different things open up. It's not necessarily a sit-down restaurant situation yet,
Yeah.
but that's kind of what they're talking about. So
Okay.
if we continue on that path, maybe, in, I don't know, 60 days, we're out and about. But right now, they do let us go outside. When we're outside, we're supposed to, they just did this like this week, supposed to wear the mask around the neck or whatever. And if you come within contact with somebody or you see that you're going to come in contact, you're supposed to raise your mask up and make sure that, if you're within 6 feet or whatever the case may be, that your mask better be up. And it's kind of the rule right now, and there's a lot of things going on right now that are kind of weird. We've got businesses that tried to open a little early and people being arrested. We have people that are basically quarantined together, like me and my wife being a couple, and if they're not social distancing, it seems to be like, there's this couple in New York that got, attacked by the police, and I'll say attacked because you attacked those people, but they're together in a quarantine, and why would they social distance? It's like, wearing a condom when you play with things.
Yeah, this is something they make clear at the beginning in the UK. If you act like household couple and you go outside, you can go beyond the street. That's no problem. The whole thing from the beginning was a stay home, stay because you save the lives. Because if you don't go out, you can't spread. But if you go out, just make sure you buy some grocery, and if you have to go get some medicine, or you have to a doctor appointment, which is life-threatening, so that's only kind of things you're allowed to go out. Otherwise, and you can do one walk or one running or one a day. Let's say go on a bike, but they're trying to but some people don't really understand and listening. But most of them they do. And the police is very polite. I haven't seen anything very aggressive in the UK, really. So,
that's a good thing. That's really a good thing because it's not quite that way here in New York and Texas and in certain areas of the United States where, people can be aggressive and the police officers can be aggressive as well. I have no doubt that there's shared culpability. I mean, I know I could piss off a police officer in like 3 seconds. So, I have no doubt somebody else did the same thing too. But the reality is that, we're just seeing these things that I just, I'm surprised myself, and I understand the keeping everybody safe, and I understand the aspect of, these are the new rules of the new world. So this is good. But I also understand that not every single person is going to be able to grasp that concept as quickly as others. And I think that, those who don't grasp that concept as quickly as others, maybe they need a little help or a little instruction instead of a baton upside the head.
And just for the comparison, I have an interview with a band from Italy, from Milan, and that's pretty crazy stuff. She told me she haven't been out for a month, or 2 months actually. Sorry, 2 months. She allowed to go out only for the grocery shopping or for medication. And it's so wild. They have like a special permit, which needs to be signed by the grocery store, and only one person from the household can go out for the grocery shopping. So it's pretty wild. There's a police cars on the street. Every time she walks outside the house, she needs to show the police officer the paper. She actually can go out because she haven't been that day out. So it's pretty crazy out there. It's starting to get a little bit better, but I was just wow, I was just amazed. Unbelievable how bad is it in Italy. I mean, in the
Never,
kind of free
well,
walking thing.
never thought George Orwell's book 1984 would come true.
1984. What
It's-
happened in 1984?
No, George
It
Orwell,
was
1984.
George Orwell wrote a
Ah,
tell him about it, George.
It basically was written, I believe, in the late 50s, and I could be wrong. It might have been early 60s, but and I probably might be wrong with that. I know it was before the 70s, but anyway, the book basically said by 1984 we'd be working in camps for the government. You know, everybody'd have their big giant flat screen TV on the wall, and the government would be indoctrinating them with the propaganda. You know. So basically, that's where a lot of people have talked about where we're kind of at right now in a lot of ways, and I get both ends of the spectrum. I understand that not everybody feels that making these concessions is a bad thing. I understand there are those who feel that making these concessions are a horrible thing, and I'm somewhere in between, frankly, because I understand, because I go out. When I do go out, I am an essential. I'm a broker. I've got real estate investments and different things that I'm involved in. I oversee, like 30 multi-housing properties. So
yeah.
I'm pretty busy, but especially right now. But one of the things is that, because I'm able to be out and I can go out and I see certain things that are going on outside and things that other people are in their homes and not seeing, I think that it kind of draws into question what's kind of going on in my mind, because I'm seeing things that other people are only seeing through their television.
Oh wow.
And yeah, and I see things out there, and what I mean by that is, and I don't know what's going on anywhere else other than San Diego, but what I can tell you is going on is there's a lot of construction, military type construction. There's a lot of buildings that were not here before that are here now, and especially like along the freeways where the military bases are and different stuff. And there's a lot of activity. There's a lot of activities. So I think that, I'm not really sure what's really going on as far as what they're, but it looks like they're building a infrastructure of surveillance. And there's going up everywhere that were there before, and some different things that are going on. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing in many ways, especially if we're going to, catch criminals and stuff. I just question on things like letting criminals out of jail so we can jail people who don't wear masks, or maybe go to their business, or maybe go on the beach when they shouldn't. So I question why we would clear the jails of people who actually did crimes for these new crimes that might not be as serious, and why we would throw somebody in jail, like our young lady in Texas who just got out. You're a brave woman.
Yeah, so it's the. I just overheard some news. There was a lady on a business as a hairdresser. She
That's
provided.
her.
Yeah, so I just heard that she got what 7 years for that.
Well, they tried to, but the governor he just put in a pardon for her, and they just released her like 3 hours ago.
Oh, brilliant! Good for her. Good for her. I'm glad, because before, obviously we are on different time here, so we got almost 3 o'clock in the morning on Friday, and the last time I heard that was like at 10 o'clock at night, UK time.
Yeah,
when I heard she's still in the jail.
Oh yeah, and it was crazy, and there was a lot of, what's funny right now is there's people that are kind of fed up, and it kind of puts things in a different perspective. And what I mean by that is, here we are in California, which is a little more, for lack of a better term, liberal state that really doesn't look at guns and different things the same way that other parts of this nation does. And there were people down in Sacramento, and letting the government know, and they didn't care. They brought the guns to them. And they're just like in Michigan. I don't know if there's a lot of people that know what's going on in Michigan, but they have a governor that's a little excessive in her dictates, and she's actually had people arrested for things that are just going against her verbally and speaking freedom of speech.
Right.
And there's a lot of things going on in that state that a lot of people are surprised at, and then other people are, just want to go with the flow. There's a lot of people that, and this is kind of what invites the ability for people to take advantage of them. Is there's a lot of people that want to just go with the flow and kind of get through their day without the, fighting anybody, without fighting the government, without fighting the neighbor, and I get it, but just remember, and the only thing I'm going to say is that, just remember that old adage that basically says, they came for her and I did nothing. They came for him and I did nothing. And they came for me and there was no one left to do anything. So, I think it's important to, be aware of what's going on around you. It's okay to question things, and you don't have to have a tin hat on or tinfoil hat on just because you question what's going on, even though that's the way you're painted a lot of times. There's a lot of times that, people think I'm a little out there a little bit because I question what's going on. But I mean, I question things, you look at, like Freedom of Information Act, just do, like here in the United States, you can do Freedom of Information Act and find out the craziest things, like, in the 20s they released, syphilis in the, prison system.
Well,
It's all in there. So, these are things that make you question, if they did this kind of stuff in the 20s to their own people, what are they doing to their own people today? And I know there's a lot of people that think, that I'm a little wacky because I question that kind of thing, but, all you have to do is do a little Freedom of Information Act and find out that, things like in the 50s, they were putting subliminal messages in movies and stuff, and I don't mean just popcorn, but you can find it out through Freedom of Information Act. So when you look at these things that they've done in the past, and then you look at what's going on around you right now, and you question something.
yeah.
Just because you're questioning something doesn't either make you crazy or, I think it's important to, ask why, and try to find out. You don't have to just fall in line every time. And if you want to fall in line, that's fine. It's an individual choice, just like it is to question. So I don't think one is better than the other than to say that if you wait around too long, you might lose everything. But outside of that, I think it's important that people are allowed to live and let live, and if you yourself are content, not question, that's fine.
Yeah. So this is the right to ask questions. It's nothing. It's just why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? And sometimes it's just easier for them. I'm not just saying for them. To shut your mouth and saying, "Oh, you are crazy," locking down. So, but that's your first right. Free of speech. And if you ask a question, if the question makes sense, why not? I would like to hear some answers.
I agree, and I think there's a lot
Thank you.
going on right now that deserve a question.
Yeah, Jason.
Critical thinking is very important. You have to have critical thinking, and so many people they get into the 9-to-5 work thing, and then they get home, they're tired, and they turn on the news, and they call it television programming. They call it television programming for a reason. And there's so many people that are starting to wake up and have an awakening and realize what's going on around them. And the term critical thinker is hopefully going to take the place of conspiracy theorist, because conspiracy theorist was created to dash out the critical thinker.
Yeah.
So the critical thinker became a tinfoil hat wearing nutcase, and people just need to think for themselves instead of just turning on the TV and being told
what they should be doing with their lives. I understand when the pandemic's going on, we all have to be safe and careful and stuff, but it comes a point when we have to start to question, and we should be allowed to question, because I think that's what it's all about.
That's your that's the first, right? That's the first thing. Just the freedom of speech. So that's all it is, really. And if they give you an answer or not, that's another thing. But you definitely have the right to ask the question without any, why are you asking the question, stuff like that. So I believe, you don't have to give me the answer. Okay, fine, it's fine. But I always can ask the question. So
yeah, and when they start telling you that you shouldn't be asking the question, or you don't have the right to ask the question, or you're crazy because you're asking the question.
Yeah, so
those are the signs that should make you question more. And there's a lot of that going on right now. I mean, there's doctors that have came forward here and put out YouTube videos that are being pushed off of YouTube because they don't comply with the narrative. There's doctors that tell you, and more than one, especially here, there's a couple in Bakersfield here in California, and there's a couple in Midwest somewhere, and then another one at Stanford, that basically come out and said, when you're a baby and you're crawling on the ground and you're putting things in your mouth, you're building up these antibodies to fight the viruses.
That's it. Yes.
So if we were putting on a mask, we're cleansing everything in our house all the time, and we're cleansing our hands all the time, and we're staying and isolating, we're basically breaking down our immune system to a certain point.
Yep.
And if that's the goal, then what the hell what the hell's going on? I think that there's these doctors that question these things, and they're not just, it's not just Facebook doctors, or I mean, when I say that, I mean these yahoos like me who get on there and rant, rave, and blah blah blah. But I mean, these people this is their profession, and they're coming out and saying these things. And I think that even though they're being drawn up as kooks in the media, I think it's important to this dude didn't get a PhD because he's a kook. Okay, so this is the kind of thing that really draws into question what's going on. And I would pose to anybody listening to the sound of my voice right now. Okay, we got two scenarios, got a lot of things going on. Okay, but number one, if it's a pandemic that naturally evolved, okay, and we don't want anybody dying. Nobody ever wants anybody dying. Okay, but look at your pandemics through history. Okay, so this thing came out saying it was going to be 3%. Now, WHO, World Health Organization, CDC in America, they've adjusted their numbers. They're in an area now where they're talking about it might be point less zero, okay?
Yeah.
0.017 or whatever the case may be.
0.0.
So, yeah. So if it's a natural pandemic, it's like the Ben Affleck of pandemics. So, it's like the bottom of the rung. Yeah, and you're going to be pissed when you hear that. But at the end of the day, we're just making fun of you, Matt, David, whatever. Anyway. But you're like you're the Matt Damon of pandemics. So then let's flip it around to like Trump and what everybody else is talking about, how, it's bioengineered, okay?
Yeah.
So if this is bioengineered, I would ask you this, okay? So you're the scientist. You're a maniacal scientist. You're twisting your mustache, you're ha-ha-ha, maniacally rubbing your hands, all that crap, okay? And you came up with this virus that you're going to unleash on the world. You're going to unleash this can of whoop-ass on the world.
Yep.
By those figures, you suck.
Yeah.
And you should. Okay. So then you got to ask yourself, if it's a pandemic that's man-made and bioengineered, sent out to kill people, and you suck at it, you're either a horrible and you suck, or there's something else going on.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, there's something underlying, something behind the. Yeah.
I think the reality is you just throwing the questions out there doesn't again make you a complete kook. So again, if it's a naturally involved pandemic, it's one of the lower grade ones, and we can thank God that it isn't worse. If it's a pandemic that somebody put together and bioengineered and meant to kill a bunch of people, they suck at it. Get a new job, sell a car or whatever, but get out of that industry. And then if that wasn't the goal to kill people and it's bioengineered, then what is the goal? Scare the shit out of you?
Well,
Good job.
put you under control.
Yeah, okay, and if that's the job, then they did a real good job then.
Yeah.
So I think that, and again, like I had in the conversation, this just fuels the conspiracy type, aspect of everything. I took my car to get dropped off to the mechanic. Got to have a car. I'm an essential dude. Got to be doing my thing. So I dropped off the car to the mechanic, and somebody I've been, he's been my mechanic for like 19 years, and this guy is like country music, flag waving, never even speak a word bad about the United States government. And this guy is questioning what the hell is going on. And it's shaking his beliefs right to the core. And it's really freaking him out, because this is a guy, like I said, I'm not so freaked out because, as far as I'm concerned, the only thing that's surprising me is, the callousness. But outside of that, everything else doesn't surprise me. And when I say callousness, the blatant in your face, like you don't care what you got to say kind of thing. But that's okay. But, for someone like him who his whole life just basically believed 100% in everything that was ever told to him by the government and believed everything that was ever on the media and believed everything and just bought into the whole thing, apple pie, the whole deal, it rocks his world because right now he doesn't understand, why his business. I mean, this is a guy who, has a good business here in San Diego.
Yes.
And, even though he's allowed to work, he basically told me if this continues for another month, and that was like 2 weeks ago, he said if this continues for another month, he doesn't think he's going to survive. Yeah. And this is a guy that made good money, running a place and having a business. So, I mean, these are things that are tearing this nation apart. And, people want to most people really just want to, work and feed their families and do what needs to be done. Yes. And we all understand, we don't want to die and we don't want to spread a disease and all this stuff. But there becomes a point where, I've heard some people say that, let me go out there and work and support my family, and if I die, I die. And I understand the government where, there are the government and the people that believe that they're making the decision for you because you're not smart enough to make it on your own. I get that.
It's but definitely the word is crazy out there about this coronavirus. I understand it's a bad, very badass virus. I understand that point, but as you said, if I have to feed the family, I go out there and take the chance. Okay, got it. I'll die. Sorry, but at least I provide for my family for another month or something.
That's right. If I myself, as this is going to be, some people I'm sure are going to think this is so chauvinistic, and I don't mean a chauvinistic way, but I myself, as a man, if I'm the provider, and I'm going to watch my children starve and my wife starve, and have the ability to go out, and maybe I do die, maybe I don't die, but I have the ability to go out and feed them.
Yeah.
What man am I if I sit on the couch and watch them die?
That's it. Yeah. So it's something we should have like option, right? Really at this point. All right. Let's follow the rules. Let's have the mask. Let's have the distance. Whatever the case will be, but let's keep me working. Let's keep me running. Let's keep me doing what I'm doing. Especially I know in US it's a little bit different scenario because there's loads of small businesses and this incorporated kind of stuff. I was myself, I have a very small company, a limousine company, and if this something hits back in 2007, let's say, I'll be probably never survive. I almost didn't survive the 2001 the towers. But luckily enough, I just have all of my cars, paid off, and I got the one fresh. I think I was on September 13. I got fresh limo, but just the lease company was just like offering me, it's like, if I can return the car, without any penalties. So that's a brilliant. So got it back. So, but there was not many guys, was not the case. So these small companies, this is what we're talking about when we say the middle kind of the middle class or middle kind of companies, the small size companies. This is the most important ones because this is the daily providers on a table. So that's unfortunately the government decided to do themselves, put everything for do everything for us, make the decisions for us. As I'm saying, I was lucky. I can sit home on 80% of on a pay and keep myself busy with the radio station, which I didn't have much time lately anyway. But it's not many people like this in the world, lucky like a little bit you guys or me. There's loads of people, they even starve because the government can't even cope with the virus, or can't cope with the because they poor. The country is poor. Okay, guys, I think we need to wrap this up. Thank you very much. So we have a band from San Diego, Killing Tyranny on a phone, on a Skype video conference with Jason and George from Killing Tyranny. Over an hour now. I was exhausted. We can continue with this for hours, George. We can continue with this for hours. You know that the conversation will go forever. But definitely something's cooking, something's going on in this crazy world out there. The government probably taking advantage of it. But we need to believe it's not so bad. We need to believe we will go out anytime soon, and we as a fans we can go out, see some bands on concerts, on festivals, and meanwhile make sure you provide or support these bands by buying some merchandise and keep them busy, keep in touch with the band as a fan, and make sure they're okay and they can survive, because not many bands they can survive this thing. But at least we try as a fans. If we go on their website and Facebook, Killing Tyranny in this particular case, this is the way you can support them a little bit.
Absolutely, you can find us on Facebook, at facebook.com/Killing Tyranny. You can find us on the web at killingtyrannytheband.org, killingtyrannytheband.com, killingtyrannytheband.net. You can find us on Amazon, iTunes, Spotify. You can find us on Dog and Pony Show right now is on The Orchard by Sony under a Curtain Call. And we got a little shout out to Curtain Call Records, GG, John, you guys rock. But basically you can find us anywhere. You can just do a little web search. We got some YouTube stuff out there, some videos, getting ready to drop a Dog and Pony Show video coming soon. The Awakening will be out, so we're hoping for the end of summer, the beginning of fall of this year, 2020. And hopefully as soon as we can get out, we're hoping to come to a venue near you.
So did you have any plans for at least for the autumn, for the end of the year? Do you have anything planned?
Well, we have some stuff that we originally booked. We just don't know what's going on, and some of the tours, basically, we're hearing from some of these larger bands that they don't know what's going on either, so they're actually canceling. Yeah. So, I would have loved to tell you, in July, we were going to be playing with Flotsam and Jetsam. It's kind of one of the things was going to be coming up. And then all through, we had some stuff booked in September too, but as I understand, these bands aren't coming now, and it changed what's going on. So I think we're just playing it by ear. As soon as something pops up, certainly you can keep checking out, to anybody who's interested, keep checking out the pages, and as soon as we know something, certainly we're going to pop out there. Like us on Facebook, Facebook. Check out our webpage. You find us all over. So just keep an eye out.
Yep.
And if you get an opportunity to come to a town that is near you, and you have an opportunity to come and see us, I can guarantee you we won't disappoint.
All right. Thank you very much, George. Thank you very much, Jason, for being with us on this virtual studio conference call directly from San Diego. For those who was listening on radiobloodstream.com, or for those who watching us on Facebook, thank you very much. And please, once again, please support Killing Tyranny on Facebook, or you can support them on Killing Tyranny band.org. I'm just watching your Facebook page right there. So buy some merch from them. This is a small thing you can do at this time before they can go out and see you face to face with some tunes. All right, thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it. And stay safe, stay healthy, and best of luck. I hope we can see you guys on a tour anytime soon. All right.
Hopefully. Thank you very much. Stay safe, everybody out there, and the only way we're going to get through this is together.
Will do, brother.
right.
All right, cheers. See ya. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Yep.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so there was a Killing Tyranny from San Diego, America, and there was a live show streaming directly from their homes, because we all have to stay home to make sure we are safe. Thank you very much for listening, watching us on Facebook, and I have to wrap this up because it's 3 o'clock, actually 3 o'clock and 15 minutes past midnight, and I'll see you at some point today, probably afternoon, after I get some sleep. So thank you very much, and love you all, and I hope you all guys all safe or stay safe, and keep listening Radio Bloodstream so they keep you busy, at least with your minds. All right, peace out, and I love you all. Bye bye.
To the nation and be prepared for the devastation. We gotta fight for our rights, even if it takes